What happens when a simple online rumor suddenly becomes one of the biggest talking points among fans of Little People, Big World? Why has Chris Marek suddenly found himself at the center of widespread online speculation, despite so little verified information? How do social media posts, anonymous comments, and fan theories evolve into headlines that thousands, sometimes even millions, of people end up reading and sharing? And perhaps the biggest question of all, what has Amy Roloff actually said publicly about her marriage, her husband, and the life they've built together? In today's video, we're taking a careful look at one of the most talked about rumors surrounding Chris Marek. Rather than repeating unverified claims, we'll separate confirmed public information from internet speculation, explore how these stories spread so quickly online, and examine why so many viewers became convinced there was a bigger story hiding beneath the surface. We'll revisit Chris's journey into the Roloff family, look at how his relationship with Amy developed over the years, and analyze why reality television often places ordinary people under extraordinary public scrutiny. Along the way, we'll compare what has actually been documented with the theories circulating across social media and fan forums. By the end of this video, you'll have a much clearer picture of what is supported by public evidence, what remains speculation, and why it's important to distinguish between the two whenever stories like this begin trending online. So let's begin. Long before viewers knew his name, Chris Marek lived a relatively private life. Unlike the Roloff family, who spent years sharing their lives on television, Chris built his career outside the entertainment industry and stayed largely out of the public spotlight. Friends and colleagues described him as someone who valued hard work, stability, and a quieter lifestyle, qualities that would later shape how many viewers perceived him after he entered the world of reality television. Chris first became publicly connected with Amy Roloff several years after Amy's divorce from Matt Roloff. For many longtime fans, watching Amy begin dating again represented a significant new chapter in her life. The transition wasn't easy. After decades of marriage and years spent building Roloff farms together, Amy was entering unfamiliar territory while millions of viewers watched every step of the journey. As Amy and Chris continued dating, viewers gradually saw their relationship develop on Little People, Big World. What began as occasional appearances eventually turned into a serious commitment. Fans watched them spend time together, meet each other's families, travel, and navigate the challenges that come with blending lives later in adulthood. Their relationship progressed steadily, leading to Chris proposing to Amy and eventually their wedding, which became one of the show's most celebrated milestones. Following their marriage, Chris became a more familiar presence on the series. While he never appeared eager to dominate the spotlight, he often participated in family gatherings, holidays, farm events, and everyday conversations. Many viewers came to see him as a calm, measured influence who frequently helped reduce tension during emotionally charged moments. His reserved personality contrasted with the more dramatic conflicts that sometimes unfolded within the Roloff family, and that difference earned him respect from many fans. However, becoming part of a long-running reality television series also meant losing much of the privacy he had enjoyed for most of his life. Every public appearance, interview, photograph, or social media post became subject to analysis. Fans began examining facial expressions, body language, and even routine interactions, sometimes drawing conclusions that extended far beyond what was actually shown on screen. This level of public attention is not unique to Chris or the Roloff family. Reality television often encourages viewers to feel personally invested in the lives of its cast members, and that interest can sometimes blur the line between documented facts and personal interpretation. Online discussions frequently amplify unverified claims, allowing rumors to spread much faster than confirmed information. That brings us to the central topic of today's video. In recent years, various online rumors involving Chris Marek have circulated across social media platforms, discussion forums, and video-sharing websites. Despite the attention these claims have received, many are unsupported by credible evidence and should not be treated as established facts. Throughout this documentary, we'll focus on what has been publicly documented, clearly identify where speculation begins, and examine why these rumors gained so much traction despite the lack of verified information. Long before millions of viewers came to know Chris Marek through Little People, Big World, he lived a life that was remarkably ordinary compared with the world of reality television. Rather than pursuing fame or entertainment, Chris built a successful career in real estate, earning a reputation as a knowledgeable and dependable professional. Friends and colleagues often described him as someone who preferred staying busy, enjoying outdoor activities, and maintaining a relatively private lifestyle. Unlike many reality TV personalities who actively seek the spotlight, Chris appeared content, living outside public attention. That quiet life would eventually change after he met Amy Roloff. Their story began several years after Amy's divorce from Matt Roloff, a period when Amy herself admitted she was learning how to rebuild her life. Following decades of marriage, raising 4 children, and sharing ownership of Roloff Farms, Amy faced the emotional challenge of starting over. By her own public accounts, she wasn't actively searching for another relationship, making her meeting with Chris an unexpected turning point. According to Amy's public interviews and comments over the years, she first met Chris during a social event involving motorcycle rides. Their shared interest in outdoor adventures and spending time together gradually developed into friendship. Rather than rushing into a serious relationship, the two spent considerable time getting to know each other. Fans watched as what began as casual companionship slowly evolved into a committed partnership. When Chris eventually appeared on Little People, Big World, reactions from viewers were mixed. Many longtime fans were genuinely happy to see Amy smiling again after years of emotional family struggles that had unfolded on television. They viewed Chris as calm, respectful, and supportive, believing he brought stability into Amy's life. Others, however, remained skeptical. After watching Amy and Matt's relationship for nearly 2 decades, some viewers understandably found it difficult to accept someone new entering the family's story. This kind of divided reaction is common for reality television, where audiences often feel deeply invested in cast members' personal lives. One of the biggest challenges Chris faced wasn't simply appearing on television. It was earning the trust of Amy's family and viewers. Amy had experienced a very public divorce, and many fans naturally wanted reassurance that she was genuinely happy moving forward. Chris never seemed interested in replacing anyone or becoming the center of attention. Instead, viewers often noticed his quieter personality and willingness to support Amy while allowing her to remain the focus. Building trust didn't happen overnight. Throughout multiple seasons, audiences watched Chris participate in family gatherings, holiday celebrations, farm events, and important milestones. While there were occasional awkward moments, as there often are in blended families navigating complicated histories, Chris generally approached those situations with patience. Over time, many viewers who had initially questioned the relationship began expressing appreciation for his steady presence. Adjusting to reality television also required significant changes. Suddenly, everyday conversations became episodes viewed by millions. Ordinary family disagreements could spark thousands of online comments, while even simple social media posts might generate speculation far beyond what anyone involved intended. Chris had to learn that public attention often creates narratives that differ from reality, and that remaining composed was sometimes the best response. Amy herself has spoken publicly on numerous occasions about finding happiness again after her divorce. She has described Chris as someone who brought peace, companionship, and encouragement into her life. Rather than portraying him as someone who rescues her, Amy has emphasized that rebuilding happiness was her own journey, with Chris becoming an important part of that next chapter. Their relationship eventually led to an engagement and marriage, marking what many supporters viewed as a hopeful new beginning. Yet despite years of public appearances together, and Amy's repeated positive comments about their marriage, reality television fame also brought a downside. Increased visibility meant increased scrutiny. Every photograph, interview, or interaction could be interpreted in countless ways online. That environment would eventually become fertile ground for rumors, some harmless, others much more damaging, and understanding how those rumors develop is essential before examining any specific claims. In today's digital world, rumors can spread faster than verified facts. A single post on social media, an edited screenshot, or a dramatic headline can quickly reach hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions, of people before anyone checks whether the information is actually true. Reality television personalities are especially vulnerable because fans naturally remain curious about their personal lives long after episodes air. One of the biggest drivers of online speculation is engagement-based content. Platforms often reward posts that generate strong emotional reactions, whether surprise, anger, or curiosity. Because of this, some creators use dramatic titles, eye-catching thumbnails, or provocative questions designed to encourage viewers to click. These presentations don't necessarily prove that the underlying claims are true. In many cases, they're simply intended to attract attention in an increasingly competitive online environment. YouTube thumbnails are a common example. A single image showing two people with shocked expressions, bold words like exposed, secret, or it's over, and dramatic graphics can immediately create the impression that something significant has happened, even if the accompanying video mainly discusses rumors, speculation, or possibilities rather than confirmed events. The thumbnail captures attention first, while important context may only appear much later, if at all. Fan forums and online discussion groups also contribute to how stories evolve. Communities dedicated to television shows often enjoy analyzing every interview, social media update, or public appearance. These discussions can be entertaining and build strong fan communities, but they also illustrate how assumptions sometimes become accepted as facts simply because they're repeated frequently. One person's interpretation can be quoted by another, then summarized elsewhere, until many readers mistakenly believe there's verified evidence behind it. This process is sometimes described as a rumor snowball. It often begins with a small observation. Perhaps someone notices that a couple hasn't posted together recently. Another person suggests there might be relationship problems. Others repeat the suggestion, adding their own theories. Soon, headlines begin asking dramatic questions, and before long, many people remember only the rumor itself rather than the fact that it was never confirmed. That's why it's important to distinguish between speculation and verified reporting. Verified reporting is based on identifiable sources, public statements, official documents, or direct interviews that can be independently confirmed. Speculation, by contrast, consists of opinions, guesses, interpretations, or theories that may or may not reflect reality. Simply because a claim appears in multiple videos or social media posts does not automatically make it accurate. This distinction is especially important when discussing personal topics involving public figures. A rumor can spread rapidly, but correcting misinformation often takes much longer. Even after a claim is disproven or never substantiated, it may continue circulating because people remember the dramatic headline more clearly than the later clarification. For viewers, one of the most valuable habits is approaching sensational claims with thoughtful skepticism. Asking simple questions: who originally reported this? Is there a direct public statement? Are reliable sources confirming the information, or is it based mainly on anonymous comments and online speculation? Can help separate fact from rumor. Curiosity is natural, particularly for fans who have followed a television family for years. But responsible viewing means recognizing the difference between entertainment, opinion, and verifiable information. As we move into the next chapter of this story, keeping that distinction in mind becomes especially important. Many of the accusations and rumors surrounding Chris Marek have attracted enormous attention online, but understanding where those claims originated and whether they're supported by credible evidence is essential before drawing any conclusions. When Amy Roloff and Chris Marek exchanged wedding vows in August 2021, many longtime Little People, Big World viewers saw it as the beginning of a completely new chapter in Amy's life. After years of documenting family milestones, personal struggles, and the emotional end of her marriage to Matt Roloff, Amy's wedding represented a fresh start. The celebration brought together family members, close friends, and familiar faces from the show. allowing fans to witness a joyful milestone after years of watching Amy navigate difficult changes. Following the wedding, Amy and Chris continued making public appearances together at fan events, interviews, and family celebrations. Whether attending seasonal gatherings or sharing moments from everyday life, they generally presented themselves as a supportive couple enjoying married life. Viewers noticed that Chris often appeared calm and easygoing, balancing Amy's energetic personality while adapting to the attention that came with being part of a long-running reality television series. Life after marriage also introduced new routines for the couple. Instead of focusing on dramatic storylines, many of their television moments revolved around ordinary experiences, traveling together, spending time with family, working on home projects, and celebrating holidays. These quieter moments may not have generated sensational headlines, but they helped portray the realities of building a marriage after both partners had already established independent lives. The couple has also shared projects beyond the television cameras. Amy has continued writing, speaking publicly, and engaging with fans, while Chris has participated in many of those activities alongside her. They have shown that marriage is often built through shared experiences rather than grand public gestures. Their willingness to support one another has been evident during interviews and community appearances, where they frequently discuss teamwork, communication, and maintaining a healthy relationship. Family gatherings have remained an important part of their lives as well. Despite the complicated history surrounding the Roloff family following Amy and Matt's divorce, viewers have occasionally seen holidays, birthdays, and celebrations where family members come together. These events naturally attract attention from fans eager to analyze every interaction, but brief television scenes rarely capture the complete reality of family relationships. Throughout Little People, Big World, Amy and Chris have shared many memorable moments together, from vacations and road trips to everyday conversations about married life. Some episodes highlighted the challenges of blending routines and adjusting to one another's habits, while others emphasized humor, affection, and mutual respect. Like any married couple, they occasionally disagreed, but disagreements shown on television are a normal part of relationships and should not automatically be interpreted as signs of deeper problems. Public interviews have consistently reflected a similar message. Amy has spoken positively about finding happiness again after divorce, while Chris has discussed the adjustments that came with joining such a well-known television family. Both have acknowledged that marriage requires patience, compromise, and communication, qualities that every couple continues developing over time. At the same time, it is important to separate entertainment from verified reality. Every marriage experiences challenges, especially when cameras document personal moments and millions of viewers watch those interactions. However, there is no verified evidence supporting many of the dramatic rumors that continue circulating online about Amy and Chris's relationship. Much of the speculation originates from anonymous social media posts, misleading video titles, or fan theories rather than confirmed statements from the couple themselves. Distinguishing verified facts from internet speculation allows viewers to understand their relationship more fairly and responsibly. Reality television has always occupied a unique space between documentary and entertainment. Although the people featured are real, the stories viewers watch are carefully edited into episodes that fit specific time limits and narrative arcs. Hours, or even days, of filming may ultimately become only a few minutes of television, meaning countless conversations and interactions never appear on screen. Editing naturally condenses events to create engaging storytelling. Producers select moments that advance a storyline, build suspense, or highlight emotional reactions. While this approach makes episodes more compelling, it can also leave audiences without the full context surrounding a conversation. A disagreement lasting only a few minutes may appear far more dramatic when presented as a major episode storyline. Because viewers only see selected moments, many begin interpreting subtle details such as facial expressions, pauses, or body language. A brief glance, a quiet response, or someone appearing distracted can quickly become the subject of online discussions claiming that a relationship is in trouble. In reality, body language alone cannot reliably reveal the full truth about someone's personal life. Social media has amplified this tendency even further. If a couple goes several weeks without posting photographs together, some followers immediately assume they have separated. If one partner attends an event alone, rumors begin spreading almost instantly. Yet public figures often have busy schedules, private commitments, or simply choose not to share every aspect of their lives online. Silence on social media should never be treated as proof of a hidden conflict. Another factor fueling speculation is the rapid spread of clickbait headlines and dramatic video thumbnails. Online creators often use emotional wording or provocative questions to encourage viewers to click, even when the underlying information is limited or based largely on fan theories. As those posts are shared repeatedly across different platforms, speculation can gradually begin to resemble established fact despite lacking credible evidence. Many public figures intentionally choose not to respond to every rumor. Addressing each false claim would require constant public statements, and responding to one rumor often encourages even more speculation. Instead, celebrities frequently focus on their personal lives while allowing unfounded stories to fade on their own. Unfortunately, false rumors can have real emotional consequences. Family members, children, close friends, and loved ones may all see inaccurate headlines circulating online. Even when a rumor is completely unsupported, repeatedly encountering misleading stories can be stressful and emotionally exhausting for everyone involved. Ultimately, Amy Roloff and Chris Marek's story illustrates a broader lesson about reality television. While viewers naturally become invested in the lives of familiar personalities, it's important to remember that edited episodes, social media activity, and internet speculation never provide the complete picture. Respecting privacy, relying on verified information, and approaching online rumors with healthy skepticism allows fans to enjoy the show without confusing speculation for fact. One of the biggest reasons rumors surrounding reality television continue to spread is that viewers only see a tiny fraction of what actually happens. A television episode that lasts just over 40 minutes may represent weeks, or even months, of real life. Producers must condense countless hours of footage into a compelling story, naturally focusing on moments that create drama, tension, or emotional impact. That doesn't mean those moments are fake, but it does mean they exist without much of the surrounding context. For fans of Little People, Big World, this can make it easy to assume they fully understand what is happening behind the scenes. If Chris Marek appears unusually quiet during one family gathering or Amy Roloff seems less enthusiastic in a particular conversation, viewers sometimes begin searching for hidden meanings. Was there an argument before filming? Are they upset with each other? Is something wrong in their marriage? In reality, there could be dozens of perfectly ordinary explanations that never make it into the episode. Body language has become another major source of online speculation. Modern audiences often believe they can read subtle facial expressions or gestures as evidence of relationship problems. A brief glance away from the camera, folded arms, a delayed smile, or a quiet response can quickly become the focus of hundreds of social media posts claiming to reveal the truth. Entire YouTube videos and online discussions are sometimes built around these interpretations. Even though body language experts themselves caution against drawing firm conclusions from isolated moments shown in heavily edited television programs. Social media has added another layer to this cycle. If Amy and Chris post several photos together, many fans interpret that as proof their marriage is thriving. But if a few weeks pass without a shared picture, some immediately begin wondering whether something is wrong. Silence becomes evidence. A lack of updates becomes a headline. Yet many public figures simply choose not to document every aspect of their personal lives online. Time away from social media often reflects nothing more than busy schedules, vacations, or a desire for privacy. This pattern illustrates how quickly assumptions can replace verified information. A single unanswered rumor may circulate across Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and entertainment blogs until it begins to feel true simply because it has been repeated so many times. Psychologists sometimes refer to this as the illusory truth effect, where repeated claims become more believable regardless of whether evidence exists. Another important question is why celebrities so often remain silent. Some viewers assume that if a rumor isn't immediately denied, it must be accurate. In reality, public figures frequently choose not to respond because addressing every rumor would consume enormous amounts of time and energy. Responding can even give more attention to claims that otherwise might disappear quickly. Many reality TV personalities have explained over the years that ignoring false stories is often healthier than engaging with every online accusation. For families featured on reality television, however, these rumors can carry real emotional consequences. Speculation doesn't only affect the people appearing on screen. Their children, relatives, close friends, and even coworkers may see misleading headlines or receive uncomfortable questions. Imagine opening social media to find thousands of strangers debating the state of your marriage based on a few edited television scenes or a missing Instagram post. Even when the claims are unverified, they can create stress and unnecessary emotional strain. That is why it's important to separate confirmed public statements from internet speculation. While every long-term relationship experiences ordinary ups and downs, there is no verified evidence supporting many of the dramatic claims that continue circulating online about Amy Roloff and Chris Marek. Much of the discussion reflects fan theories rather than established facts, reminding us that reality television often inspires far more speculation than certainty. Living under constant public attention is something Amy Roloff has experienced for well over 2 decades. Since Little People, Big World first introduced viewers to the Roloff family, millions of people have watched major milestones unfold, from raising children and managing Roloff farms to navigating divorce, remarriage, and the many transitions that followed. Very few people experience such personal moments while cameras are rolling, making Amy's journey especially unique. Over the years, Amy has spoken publicly about both the opportunities and challenges that came with sharing her life on television. The show connected her with viewers who admired her resilience and openness, but it also meant that deeply personal decisions were often discussed by complete strangers online. Every disagreement, every emotional conversation, and every family milestone became subject to public analysis, whether or not audiences had the full story. For Chris Marek, entering that environment represented an entirely different challenge. Before becoming involved with Amy, he lived a relatively private life outside of reality television. Suddenly, his relationship was being examined by millions of viewers, with every appearance analyzed for clues about his personality, intentions, and feelings. Adjusting to that level of visibility is something many newcomers to reality TV describe as surprisingly difficult. Chris has generally maintained a calm and measured public image, rarely responding directly to online criticism. Even so, becoming part of a well-known television family naturally exposes someone to opinions from people who have never met them. Supportive comments are often accompanied by criticism, speculation, or rumors, making it difficult to please everyone regardless of how someone behaves. The internet has made this pressure even more intense. Today's reality TV personalities are no longer discussed only during weekly episodes. They remain part of a continuous online conversation through YouTube videos, Facebook groups, podcasts, entertainment websites, and countless social media accounts. A single photograph or short video clip can generate thousands of comments within hours, many based on assumptions rather than verified information. This creates an ongoing tension between privacy and public curiosity. Fans naturally become invested in the people they watch for years, often feeling a personal connection to their favorite television families. That curiosity is understandable. At the same time, reality TV personalities remain entitled to private moments that are never shared publicly. Not every family discussion, disagreement, or celebration needs to become public knowledge simply because someone appears on television. The Roloff family is far from unique in facing these challenges. Many long-running reality TV families have experienced similar cycles of speculation, where ordinary life events become amplified into dramatic headlines. Relationships, parenting decisions, career changes, and social media activity frequently become subjects of intense debate, even when very little verified information is available. The longer a family remains in the spotlight, the more likely it becomes that rumors will continue to emerge. Perhaps the biggest lesson viewers can take from these stories is the importance of evaluating information carefully. Headlines and viral posts often prioritize attention over accuracy, while the truth is usually more nuanced. Waiting for verified statements, distinguishing confirmed facts from speculation, and remembering that edited television represents only part of someone's life all help create a more balanced perspective. Ultimately, Amy Roloff and Chris Marek's story illustrates both the rewards and the challenges of living in the public eye. Their relationship has been shared with audiences through television and social media, but like any marriage, much of it exists beyond what cameras capture. While rumors may continue to circulate, responsible viewers recognize that speculation is not the same as evidence, and respecting the privacy of public figures remains just as important as satisfying our curiosity. One of the most important things to remember when discussing reality television is that viewers only see a carefully edited version of people's lives. A season of filming may cover months of real experiences, but those events are condensed into a handful of episodes designed to tell an engaging story. Conversations are shortened, emotional moments are highlighted, and everyday interactions are often left out. Because of that, audiences rarely have the complete picture. That editing process can unintentionally encourage speculation. Fans naturally try to fill in the missing pieces by analyzing facial expressions, brief comments, or even silence on social media. A simple pause during an interview or a lack of recent photos together can quickly become the basis for rumors that spread across YouTube, Facebook, and other platforms. Before long, assumptions are repeated so often that some people begin treating them as established facts, even when there is no verified evidence to support them. This is especially true when it comes to Amy Roloff and Chris Marek. Over the years, various online rumors have claimed that their marriage was facing serious trouble or that Chris's personal life was somehow different from what viewers believed. However, many of these claims originated from speculation, misleading headlines, or clickbait content rather than confirmed statements from Amy, Chris, or reliable news sources. While fans are free to discuss what they see on television, it's important to distinguish between observations and proven facts. Another factor that often fuels online rumors is the speed of social media. One person's opinion can quickly be shared thousands of times, picked up by content creators, and repeated across multiple platforms. As each retelling becomes more dramatic, the original lack of evidence is often forgotten. This is why it is so important to check whether information comes from verified interviews, official statements, or reputable reporting before accepting it as true. False rumors can also have a real emotional impact. Public figures may choose not to respond to every claim because doing so can sometimes give even more attention to unfounded stories. Their families, friends, and loved ones may still be affected by those rumors, even when the allegations have no factual basis. Respectful discussion means recognizing that the people featured on reality television are real individuals whose lives continue long after the cameras stop filming. As viewers, we all play a role in shaping online conversations. Healthy discussions can be thoughtful, respectful, and based on verified information rather than assumptions. Disagreeing with someone's decisions or sharing opinions about a television show is perfectly reasonable, but spreading unverified claims as though they are facts can unfairly damage reputations. The best conversations are those that separate entertainment from reality and remain grounded in reliable information. As of their most recent public appearances, Amy Roloff and Chris Marek have continued to appear together publicly, sharing moments from their married life through interviews, public events, and social media. They have continued to support one another in various projects and have generally presented themselves as a united couple. While every marriage experiences ordinary ups and downs, there has been no verified evidence confirming many of the dramatic rumors that have circulated online about their relationship. In interviews, Amy has often spoken about enjoying this stage of life with Chris and focusing on family, personal happiness, and future plans. Chris has likewise expressed appreciation for their life together and has continued participating in activities that fans have come to associate with the couple. Their current priorities appear to include spending time with loved ones, maintaining a balanced lifestyle, and continuing selected public appearances when appropriate. At the same time, it is important to recognize the difference between confirmed information and speculation. Confirmed information comes directly from Amy, Chris, official interviews, or reputable reporting. Speculation, on the other hand, often comes from anonymous online posts, edited video clips, or assumptions made by viewers. While speculation may generate attention online, it should never be treated as proof. For anyone following Amy and Chris's story, the most reliable approach is to rely on verified updates rather than viral rumors. Waiting for confirmed information helps create a more accurate understanding of what is actually happening and prevents misinformation from spreading further. As we wrap up, one lesson stands out above all else. Reality television often inspires curiosity and discussion, but rumors should never be mistaken for facts. Editing, social media, and online speculation can easily create stories that seem convincing without being supported by evidence. That is why fairness, patience, and respect are so important whenever discussing the lives of public figures. Amy Roloff and Chris Marek have shared much of their journey with viewers, but they are also entitled to privacy beyond what appears on television. The best way to support meaningful conversations is to focus on verified information while recognizing that not every rumor deserves to be believed or repeated. Now we'd love to hear from you. Do you think reality television sometimes encourages audiences to jump to conclusions? Share your thoughts in the comments below, but please keep the conversation respectful and based on verified information. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.